Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com.
You want to read the intro today?
Let's see.
We have 5 seconds.
Yes, I know.
The time is 10 a.m.
Ready?
Well, my phone says 9:59.
We're going to start recording though, Madison.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So my phone is 1 second off from the time.
That's okay.
Big deal.
Do you want to start reading?
Thank you for tuning in to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Madison, and I'm here with Savannah.
Hi.
We invite you to listen to our broadcast both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel Monday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's carrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for more information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.
All right.
Our first article is going to be from KY3, What's Going Around? Finding Success and Health Goals in the New Year. This is written by Jackie Garrity. It's a new year, and that means new health goals. Whether that's nutrition, fitness, or your mental health, Cindy Gristle, a physician assistant with Mercy, said we can set ourselves up for success by setting attainable and achievable goals and not giving up if we don't reach those goals every day. The article continues with a picture of somebody standing on
A scale.
yes, thank you. A scale to measure weight. So maybe your goal for the day is that you want to walk 10,000 steps. You want to get a certain amount of water in, and maybe one day you hit the water goal, you don't hit the step goal. Reset the clock the next day and try again, said Gristle. It's all about trying to instill those positive habits. When it comes to exercise, she said do more than you are doing right now. Not everyone will be able to do cardio and weight training at the gym. She said that sometimes that means going for a 10 to 20 minute walk outside and building from there. When it comes to fad diets, she said be careful when cutting out things that you love, like desserts or carbohydrates, because you will eventually want those things again. Find a diet that is sustainable, even after you reach your weight goals. If focusing on your mental health is on your priority list this year, she said start small. Maybe it's something as simple as, you know what, I have been really consumed with social media, and that causes me to really struggle with my mental health. So I'm going to remove some social media content from my phone, said Gristle. Again, make it manageable. She also said make time for things that bring you joy. Perhaps that's reading, journaling, drawing, or even exercising. Often, those simple pleasures take a backseat to everything else, and our mental health suffers. She said that individual time is needed to refresh and recharge for the other parts of our life. And that is the end of this article.
Pretty short one, huh? Next article is by Springfield Daily Citizen, and it's by Paul Kincaid. Paul Kincaid. The article title is Opinion Rip to the Penny at Age 232. And there's a picture of a penny left on a headstone at the Springfield National Cemetery, and it's serving as a message to the deceased family member that he or she had a visitor, and the photo is by Jim Wilson. The article goes on to say, Opinion. The penny was first introduced in the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia back in March of 1793, and the last penny for circulation was produced in November 12th of 2025 at the same mint. After 232 years of service, I didn't think the penny got a proper send-off. This is my tribute to the penny, which includes a memorial family experience with the penny playing a key role. In 1793, a penny meant something. A penny produced in 1793, a penny produced during that year would have had the purchasing power today of $32.72. What happened? Times change. There are logical reasons for stopping productions of the penny. The costing of producing a penny has increased significantly as of last year of 2024. Or I meant 2 years ago, 2024. Anyway, it costs $3.69 to pay a mint of 1 cent penny. The declining use of cash from 31% customer cash payments in 2016 to 14% in recent years reduced the necessity for low denomination coins like the penny to make change. The U.S. Treasury Department and the Mint say the decision to halt production is part of a broader strategy to save taxpayer money and streamline currency production. In case you were wondering, Abraham Lincoln was first put on the penny back in 1909 to
commemorate.
Anyway, Abraham Lincoln was first put on the penny in 1909 to commemorate, his 100th birthday. I don't know what commemorate means.
Commemorate is to honor or celebrate.
Okay.
But we want to use the exact word, remember?
Yes. Anyway, it was honored.
Nope, you're going to say commemorate, girl.
Okay. Just to his 100th birthday.
It's okay.
Continuing, Lincoln's image replaced the Indian head, and Lincoln was the first person featured on a regular United States coin. While the penny's reverse side changed through the years, Lincoln remained on the front from 1909 to 2025. If you have a jar of pennies today, don't worry. Although the production of new pennies has ceased, existing pennies will remain legal tender. There are approximately 300 billion pennies already in circulation, and they can still be used for transactions. Finally, as the pennies are phased out, businesses may begin rounding cash transitions to the nearest 5 cents, which could change how prices are displayed and how transitions are conducted. Better tell the nickel to watch its back. Nickel back. There was more to the penny's value. Pennies had an impact beyond their monetary worth. Placing a penny in your shoe, particularly the left one, is an old superstition for good luck. Who can forget putting a penny in the Cordovan penny loafers? Placing a penny above the front door frame is believed to bring financial blessings, and a jar of pennies in the kitchen is considered good luck and prosperity for the home. In ancient times, people believed water sources had special powers. That explains why tossing a penny into a fountain or a wishing well to make your wish come true, or throwing a penny overboard while traveling on a boat to ensure a safe voyage. Superstitions also suggest picking up a found penny for luck, with some believing it should be heads up, while others consider any penny found. Others consider any penny found to be a blessing. In parentheses, it says, if my daughter finds a penny with tails up, she will turn it over and leave it for someone else to find heads up for good luck. The article continues on to say, we might have some explaining to do. There are several famous sayings that reference the penny. We need to be prepared to explain to future generations why we still use them and their meaning. A penny is saved is a penny earned suggests that saving even a small amount of money is a form of earning. While often attributed to Benjamin Franklin, variations of the phrase appeared in his writings. Historians say the exact wording likely came later. Penny wise and pound foolish is a proverb that means someone is careful with small amounts of money but careless with larger amounts. Find a penny, pick it up, and all the day you'll have good luck is a rhyme that suggests finding a penny brings good fortune for the rest of the day. In a penny for a pound suggests that once you have taken the first step in doing something, you should be prepared to go all the way, regardless of the challenges or additional requirements that may arise. Back when every penny counted, When I think of the penny, one particular story immediately comes to mind. My dad lived to be 84. Late in his life, he told my brothers and me stories about his childhood which he had not heard before, many of them to be personal. My dad's situation was a familiar one. His family was extremely poor, but he didn't realize it as a child. They were excited to have indoor plumbing. They were glad to play baseball with discarded baseballs wrapped in black electric tape from his electrician father, and broken bats held together with nails. Poor guy. They ate potatoes, onions, and other vegetables from the garden, which were better than the groceries that they couldn't afford to buy, along with other staples of fried eggs, pancakes, and oatmeal. Aunts, uncles, and cousins lived with my dad's family. More than one family member lost a job in the late 1930s and early 1940s. More than one car was repossessed, and none of this was atypical, as I said.
Okay.
None of this was atypical for Oklahoma coming out of the Great Depression. But back then, a penny had more value, worth 23 cents today. With a penny, you could buy small items like a single piece of candy, a pencil, a bag of nuts, or a newspaper, as well as cover short distances with public transport like a bus ride, or such as a bus ride. Many of my dad's friends also struggled financially, so poverty seemed normal to him. My dad didn't realize how poor his family really was. That is, until his grade school teacher asked the children in his class to bring money to assist a poor family living in the neighborhood so they could put food on the table and cover other basic living expenses. My dad proudly presented a penny to the teacher to help the cause. The teacher did not say a word, but tears began rolling down her cheeks. It was much later that my dad learned that she was crying because the poor family they were trying to help was his. That experience led to one of my dad's favorite sayings: money is never an issue as long as you have some of it. Enough for me, your turn. A penny for your thoughts.
That is the end of that article. I'll be reading from the Springfield Daily Citizen. Springfield City Manager fields questions, concerns over convention center projects at listening session. City Manager David Cameron concluded a series of listening sessions January 6th at the Greene County Archives and Election Center. This article is by Jack McGee. There is a photo of the listening session with people sitting in chairs facing the listener. And the caption says, Wes Pratt addresses the issue of minority involvement in the development of proposed convention and exposition center. Photo by Jen Wilson. In what will likely be the final listening session before the Springfield City Council considers whether to place another hotel tax on the April ballot, City Manager David Cameron addressed a full house at the Greene County Archives and Election Center January 6 about the city's effort to build a new convention and event center. Cameron kicked off the meeting with a presentation of the feedback received by the city since Springfield voters narrowly rejected a 3% hotel tax increase in the November 2025 election, including the results of a survey conducted in early December. While the survey results show strong opposition to the project among a sizable share of respondents, many also indicated support for a revised proposal. The full set of results can be found under that link. Springfield residents in attendance on Tuesday expressed concerns about the lack of clarity surrounding the project, the use of half-cent Springford's SGF sales tax revenues for the project, higher hotel tax rates potentially driving visitors away, and how the project would benefit undeserved communities. Cameron also outlined some potential changes that may be incorporated into a revised proposal, which voters could consider in the April 8th election. Unlike the previous tax measure, which proposed the increase in perpetuity, the city is now considering including 35-year sunset provision in response to feedback received through the survey. City increases projected revenue growth. In response to community feedback, the city is now providing a specific location for the project. The Springfield Expo Center at 635 East St. Louis Street and the adjacent vacant parcel, which are both owned by the city through the Expo Center, is managed by Atrium Hospitality. In addition, the city is now proposing to use existing hotel tax revenues, which will become available when the debt on Jordan Valley Park is paid off in 2028, on the operations and maintenance of the field, which is expected to operate at a deficit at least for the first few years. Previously, the city planned to have those revenues supplement the tax increase to fund the debt service on the construction of the event center itself, leaving the funding source for the operations maintenance unclear. In order to accommodate the change, the city has increased the projected growth rate in hotel tax revenues from 2% to 4%, which Cameron said is more in line with the historical growth rate of just under 5%. There is a picture of the empty lot next to the Springfield Expo Center from above. A photo by Bruce Stidham. Under the revised proposal, the city expects to be able to pay off $145 million in debt services over 30 years with a 3% hotel tax increase alone, with the additional 5 years included in the term of the tax increase intended to provide a cushion. Cora Scott, the city's Director of Public Information and Civic Engagement, said that the potential increase under discussions remains 3%. Springfield's current hotel tax rate, which is paid by overnight visitors of hotels and short-term rentals, is 5%, while the overall tax rate on sleeping accommodations, including the base sale tax rate, is 13.1%, excluding any additional taxes and special taxing districts. With a deadline of Jan 27th to put a potential tax measure on the April ballot, Cameron said the City Council could consider doing so as soon as its next regular meeting, scheduled for January 12th. In the meantime, Cameron said he will prepare a summary of the feedback he has received over the course of his listening tour, which includes sessions with hoteliers and the downtown business community to provide council members. I don't want to be in any way presumptuous, Cameron said told the Springfield Daily Citizen prior to the meeting. If there's something that says we're missing it, my responsibility, what I wanted to do, is go out and listen to what would be, but I do anticipate working on what that would look like. Construction would be capped at $175 million. With a hard cap of $175 million on the cost of construction, the total project cost is expected to exceed $205 million, including property acquisition. In addition to a potential hotel tax increase, the City Council has already allocated $30 million in half-cent spring-forward SGF sales tax revenues, which serve as the local match required of a state budget or earmark of the same amount. Currently, the state funding is restricted, subject to release at the governor's discretion. Governor Mike Kehoe has repeatedly expressed support for the project and that the funding could still be released before the end of the state's fiscal year, June 30th. The $175 million figure is in line with the estimated cost of the project recommended in a market demand and feasibility study recently conducted by Hunden Partners, a Chicago-based consulting firm specializing in destination real estate and tourism. There is a picture of Springfield City Manager David Cameron presenting the results of the December 2025 online survey about the proposed convention event center during the listening session on January 6th. He is standing in front of a podium next to his laptop and in front of his PowerPoint. Specifically, the study recommends a facility with 125,000 square feet in event space, including 65,000 square feet exhibition hall, a 30,000 square foot ballroom, a 14,000 square foot junior ballroom, 16,000 square feet of meeting space, and an outdoor plaza. In total, the project would encompass 250,000 square feet of gross floor area, including a lobby, concourse, service corridor, kitchen, storage, and other support spaces. The study also recommends for the facility to connect to a 400-room hotel, estimated to cost an additional $209 million, and 1,200 parking spaces.
Wow.
While the proposed convention center could fit on the city-owned property along St. Louis Street, as demonstrated by a rough blueprint portraying the potential layout of the facility, the location of the hotel and parking facilities remain unclear, hence the need for additional property acquisition. Cameron, city won't fund hotel project. Cameron emphasized at Tuesday's forum that he doesn't expect the city to be involved in financing the construction of a hotel outside outside of helping establish some sort of special taxing district, such as a community improvement district or transportation improvement district. The other $200 million is private investment to do that, Cameron said. So when people are like, where's a private investor, that's a great question. The question is, when you go out to a private investor, if you've not put skin in the game to that, you're going to them asking them to put up a 4-star hotel or a hotel. But you're not putting any guarantee that you're going to do it. There is a blueprint depicting what the additions to the Expo Center would look like and where they would be on that empty field. Cameron said that the city has a team that is going to Los Angeles next week to meet with potential investors who may be interested in the hotel project. In a similar vein, survey results also show a desire for the city to release preliminary designs or renderings of the convention and event center. However, Cameron said he thinks it would be very disingenuous for the city to spend $250,000 on architectural plans before voters have even approved a hotel tax increase for the project. That's a very big ask, Cameron said. To say, listen, we're presuming, which I think was a lot that took place in the first vote. It was like, hey, this has been a 27-year project that people have talked about. This is out there. Everybody knows about the project. That's the way it was presented, even in my own orientation with it. Obviously, people don't understand everything that was about the project. Attendees dispute use of half-cent sales tax. Following his presentation, Cameron opened the floor for questions and comments. While some emphasized their support for a new convention and event center, and therefore a hotel tax increase to help fund it, others expressed ongoing concerns with the project and hesitancy towards a revised proposal. Vicky Tripp said that while she isn't inherently opposed to the project, she was not a fan of the city using the first year's worth of Springford SGF tax revenues, which were promised for capital improvements, community and neighborhood initiatives, and park projects, consistent with the Ford SGF comprehensive plan. I'm not opposed to a convention center, Tripp says. What I'm opposed to is using the sales tax money that we voted on for purposes other than supporting businesses to make the convention center happen. While recognizing the Springford SGF tax, which voters passed as part of a 3/4 cent tax in the November 2024 election, was not expressly intended for a convention center, Cameron emphasized that a convention center is included in the comprehensive plan, even if not as a priority. Tripp also expressed concerns over the possibility that the governor doesn't release the $30 million state earmark, prompting the city to request additional funding for the half-cent Springford SGF sales tax. There is a photo of Vicky Tripp listening closely as one of her questions is answered at Tuesday evening. She is standing at the center of the photo with an arm over her head as she listens. Cameron acknowledged that losing out on the state funding would send the project back as all the funding sources concede together. However, there's been no indication from those conversations, unless we just don't put it back to voters and consider it, of whether those dollars are going to disappear, Cameron said. So I can't speak at the federal level or the state level. That's way outside of my economic background of any kind. All I know is what we've communicated. What's been told to us is in the budget. It's appropriated for 2025-2026. It's still in there. In contrast to Tripp, David Atkinson, Springfield office leader for GE Dunn Construction, said he supported the use of Springford SGF tax revenues for the project. Due to the additional investment it could stimulate between the state funding, hotel tax revenues, and some $200 million in private investment for a hotel. Next thing you know, the $30 million that we voted to tax ourselves has spurred $400 million worth of growth and development, Atkinson said. Some people may not like that. Some people may not want any of that development because the way they want Springfield to stay the way it is. But I don't want to see Jefferson City and all the other places who are invested in their community and their convention centers to get all the things while we stand by and say, I don't know if we ought to be spending that much money on that. I just think we needed more clarity. Wes Pratt, representing the Multicultural Business Association, expressed concern about the potential economic development opportunities for underrepresented, undeserved, and under-resourced businesses. Pratt said that a perception exists that the city has not been responsive to the concerns of these businesses, nor has it been articulated how they might benefit from the convention center project. I know you say, well, it's going to benefit the entire city. How is it going to benefit the entire city? Are there going to be opportunities? Pratt said. There was a concern voiced by our members and supporters that you'll provide jobs for the folks. But are those jobs going to be the type of jobs where people can have a livable wage or be able to live off the income generated? There's a photo of a man called Christian Carroll standing up and speaking at the listening session. He's holding a microphone and facing the camera. Christian Carroll said that while he believes in the potential benefit of a new convention and event center, he was glad when the previous hotel tax increase failed and urged the city to ensure a revised proposal is clear and leaves no questions unanswered. I want it to succeed, but we just need more info and more details and more assurances that when our government says, give us more money, we know what to do with it, that there's a plan that makes us believe that you know what to do with it, Carroll says. And I think Springfield does, and I think Springfield will, and I think Greene County will. But I just think we need more clarity. Carroll also encouraged the city to commission renderings, noting that the city spent nearly the same amount as Cameron said renderings would cost on the November 2025 election. I think that would actually be an investment in a good ability to present this to the public, that it would be successful and more accepted, Carroll said. Cameron clarified that should the tax measures move forward, the city would prepare some type of illustration. Rachel Adden, a local convention planner, said she would work with groups that would love to come to Springfield, but that the city doesn't have the infrastructure to accommodate them. There is a photo of Rachel Adden speaking at the listening session. She is facing away from the camera as she holds a microphone and speaks. We don't have a convention center package, so our groups have to book in competing cities like Tulsa and Little Rock and Northern Kentucky and Lexington and Wichita and those sorts of things, Aiden said. I think it's got to be a communication error because this thing is a no-brainer. You'd be creating the demand. Aiden also assures attendees that adding a few percentage points on the hotel tax would not deter visitors. While emphasizing that he is not against the convention center, Lyle Foster, a local business owner, said he was concerned about the hotel tax rate climbing too high. Just because we can, do we always need to? I don't want to see a 20% hotel-motel tax in our city because just like Vegas, we're going to chase people away, Foster said, noting that some residents, including himself, have to stay in hotels. Foster also emphasized the need to invest in public transportation, questioning how visitors could travel between the Springfield-Branson National Airport and the convention center. That is the end of this article. Madison?
I don't know where the cursor went.
It's okay.
There it is.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. Next article, bear with me everyone, because this one is a pretty long one. It's by 417 Magazine, and the title is What to Plant Right Now, specific seasons. All right. It says, take advantage of Southwest Missouri's long planting seasons and choose colorful plants that will spruce up in your garden beds all year long. This article was written by Heather Kohler, Lucy Callie, Katie McWilliams, Katie Pollock
Estes.
and Michelle Lewis. Not Michael, Michelle.
Okay.
First off, there's a picture of
Frosted grass.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's pretty. Mm-hmm. The photo is courtesy by Shutterstock, but Shutterstock, not Shock, Stock.
It's okay.
All right. And there's like a huge article of each flowers you can plant in each season. So starting off, what to plant in the winter, and these are some Southwest Missouri winter favorites. Starting up is the Eastern Wahoo. This large shrub-like tree can grow up to 25 feet tall, wow, and is often confused with another and invasive species called burning bush. That's no surprise thanks to the fiery color it takes on during colder months. But unlike burning bush, the Eastern Wahoo is native to Southwest Missouri. That's a funny name. Starting in fall and extending into winter, it erupts with flowery, four-lobed, purpley red fruit. As cute and temptingly
Temptingly plump.
Yeah, as cute and
Temptingly plump.
plump as these fruits are, as basically they look good to us, but they're not edible to humans.
It's okay, we can just keep reading.
Birds, however, they love them. So don't eat the berries. Second one is the American holly. This classic symbol of Christmas is native to the southeastern United States, but grows really well in Missouri. Plus, it's covered in lovely little bursts of color during the winter months, and it has the familiar pointed and honestly quite prickly leaves that are thick and waxy year-round. But the bright red berries come out in the winter. And if you're lucky enough to have one in your yard, you can pluck some of the leaf bundles off to decorate during the holidays. Next up is a southern magnolia, another southern tree that can thrive in the Ozarks. In the southern magnolia, unlike other variations of deciduous magnolia that we see bursting with blooms in the spring and dropping their leaves in the fall, unlike other varieties of magnolia, the southern magnolia specifically is an evergreen. That means its huge and glossy leaves will hold their color and stay on the trees year-round. Its wide, buttery white flowers are visible only in the warm months, but the seed pods at any fallen leaves can be dried and can make great additions to winter floral and greenery arrangements. Another one is American beautyberry. Starting in early fall, the American beautyberry shrub begins to produce clusters of deep purple berries that hang on well into the winter. If you're feeling really industrious,
Mm-hmm.
You can even collect the berries and use them to make jelly. Bonus for the warmer months, this plant also repels mosquitoes, giving you a summertime bonus as well. Native to the southern United States, including Missouri, this shrub can grow up from 5 to 9 feet tall. And then there's hawthorns. Hawthorns are native to the eastern United States, with Missouri on its far western range. And although this plant grows some pretty gnarly thorns, hence its name, hawthorn, it also pops with color thanks to its bright red berries. They appear in September and October and hang on all the way through the winter. And in the spring, the plant erupts with clusters of white flowers. Let's see.
Oh, how about we go?
You might be surprised to know that many greens grow well once planted outdoors or sown indoors through the final days of unwelcome frost. Start your garden's harvest at a slow and steady pace by planting greens known for toughing out cooler weather like peas, lettuce, and
arugula.
Spinach is a good choice to start with if you're beginning really early, as it is a cold tolerant and often planted during the final days of the fall and through the winter seasons. Late winter is also a great time to start planting kale. This hardy green plant has the richest flavor after it's harvested in the thick of cold weather, but you can also plant the seeds inside and set out young kale plants just before spring begins. Other veggies you might consider fitting into your planting schedule before the spring heat arrives. There are also Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and broccoli. If you're really serious about getting your garden going, you can invest in season extending devices such as cold frames, hotbeds, cloches, or floating row covers. Several plants can thrive just as well with more budget-friendly tools like indoor planters, so no one-size-fits-all technique for gardeners to use as they brave the chilly conditions. Use local resources like the extensive Use local resources like the extensive seed options at Mansfield-based Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Co. And the seeds that start, and the seeds and starts that will soon start to fill the aisles at your favorite nurseries like
Schafitzel's?
Greenhouse, sorry if I butchered the name, and Wickman's Garden Village. The article continues, what to plant during the fall. Okay, with more people in the Ozarks embracing the movement known as naturescaping, there has been a renewed interest in native plants, shrubs, and trees in residential yards. Not only do native shrubs add beauty and year-round interest in landscaping with striking blooms, vibrant fall foliage, and berries that attract a variety of wildlife, but they're also well suited for the Ozarks climate, requiring little maintenance and little watering. When you plant native shrubs, you cut down on mowing, reducing gas pollutants, you use less water, conserving fresh water, and you eliminate the need for pesticides, as native shrubs are naturally more resistant to pests. If you like the idea of planting shrubs that are lower maintenance and preserve the natural diversity of the Ozarks, then there are several species of native shrubs to choose from, and many are available as seedlings through the Missouri Department of Conservation, along with guidance on how to plant each specific variety. All right, so here are the plants that you can plant during the fall. First up is the showy ones. If it's abundant spring blooms you're after, try planting nine bark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a
Deciduous?
It's a deciduous shrub that grows about to 5 feet and produces clusters of small white flowers in the spring. And once you know how to identify them, you can't miss these flowering bushes with dripping branches of white blooms in older neighborhoods around the Ozarks. Their blooms attract lots of insects, and they produce yellowish dry capsule fruits that turn a reddish brown in the fall. The fall foliage of nine bark is especially pretty, with colors ranging from yellowish green to shades of pink and orange. Next up is the towering ones. If you want a larger, taller shrub for privacy, arrowwood viburnum, okay, that shrub would be a good choice, as it can grow up to 15 feet tall. Native Americans were known to use these shrubs straight. Native Americans were known to use these shrubs as straight stems for arrow shafts, hence the common name arrowwood. These shrubs produce white spring flowers and bluish blackberries that attract wildlife like bees, birds, and butterflies. They are also deer resistant, which is nice for rural areas. Arrowwood shrubs are considered an area of concern by the Missouri Department of Conservation, so try planting the shrub. Planting the shrub could keep it from becoming extinct to the area and make it more common in the wild. And we have the boldly colorful ones. Another native shrub that could make a great addition to landscaping is Ozark witch hazel. Ooh. It's a shrub that has been growing in popularity, and it's one of Missouri's first native plants to bloom each year, with many medicinal uses and unique red and yellow hues. This shrub can add a pop of vibrant color in the spring. Another native shrub that offers deep red color to landscapes and fragment sumac.
Yep. Fragrant sumac.
All right. It comes in shorter and taller varieties, both being drought resistant, And both types produce tight clusters of small yellow flowers and clusters of hairy reddish berries that that arrive in the late summer, and their fall foliage is vibrant orange and scarlet. Whether you have a small yard or sprawling acres, native shrubs not only help enhance our Ozarks landscape and provide for our wildlife, but they're also easy to maintain and they're also environmentally friendly. Lastly, what to plant in the spring, bring in the spring. If you want to create a beautiful indoor spring bulb display with these simple tips, learning to force bulbs is a simple way to add color and a touch of spring inside your home. The easiest bulbs to force indoors are
Amaryllis.
and paperwhite because they don't need a cold snap in order to bloom. But for a more springy display, try crocus, crocus, daffodils, and grape
Hyacinth.
arrangements to force the cheerful blooms of crocus, daffodils, and grape
Hyacinth.
to bloom indoors. They require a reminder that they've been through winter. This means you'll need to chill the bulbs before bringing them indoors. Do this by planting them in potting soil, using the containers you plan to display them indoors. Place the pots in a cold frame, basement, or unheated shed. The goal is to chill them, but also to protect them from direct frost and to make sure they don't get below freezing temperatures. And how long you chill your bulbs depends on the type of bulb too. Check the potting mix in the pots every few weeks and water thoroughly when the surface is dry to the touch. As you near the end of the chill time, check for the roots. Check the plant for roots. Once you see the roots forming, it's time to pull out your containers and place them into a sunny spot indoors. Continue to water the soil as it begins to feel dry and place moss on top of the soil. The white shoots on the tops of the bulbs and will turn green from the sun, and your bulbs will begin to bloom 2 to 3 weeks later. Experienced and aspiring home gardeners, listen up. It's also time for you to start getting your hands dirty in the soil and working on your own vegetable garden. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, the estimated date for the last spring frost in southwest Missouri is April 13th. That means you should be able to safely plant seeds and starts in the ground without having to worry that a late season frost will wipe them out prematurely. Of course, this is an estimate. Mother Nature does what she wants. That's what it says. Yeah, Mother Nature does what she wants. Anyway, test your soil too. Ideally, by now, you've already probably tended to your soil. If you didn't, don't worry. The University of Missouri Greene County Extension Office is super helpful when it comes to soil prep. You can bring a sample in, and they'll report it back with your soil's level of pH, phosphorus, organic matter, and more treatment recommendations for how to improve your soil for growing goals. Adding fertilizer or other materials to prep your soil for growing could also make all the difference in how productive your plants are. With local pros who can guide you along the way, digging to soil health is a no-brainer. Start with seeds. At Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Co., located at 2278 Baker Creek Road, Mansfield, you can find a huge variety of vegetable and flower seeds, many of them being rare heirloom varieties that can add some funky colors and interesting flavors to your garden. The Springfield's company website is super handy with descriptions of the flavor and hardiness of the plants. It also has helpful reviews from customers, but we recommend visiting the seed store in person so you can flip through seed packets and peek at the farm. The spot hosts numerous events too. All right, start with plants. if you would rather grow from starter plants instead of seeds, there are lots of places where you can get started. Most local nurseries like Schafitzel Flowers and Greenhouse, Wheeler Gardens, and also Wickman's Garden Village. They have tons of flowers and plants, both annually and
Perennials.
You can transplant into your home flower beds and pots. That's basically what this thing can do. It can transplant into your home flower beds and pots. And they can help you determine what will work in your space if you let them know how much sun or shade the plants get. At the annual Master Gardener plant sale on April 26th of 2025, starting at 8 a.m.
Right here.
Okay. At the
Mizumoto.
Japanese Stroll Garden Pavilion, located at 2400 South Scenic Avenue in Springfield. You can spruce up your flower beds or veggie gardens by buying plants from the pros and expect to see everything from ground cover to perennial flowers to herbs and veggies. They even have shrubs and trees. So get out and shop for the little plants that will help make you, So go on and get out and shop for the little plants that will help you make up for the lost time in your backyard garden. Whether you're looking for a large green foliage or just blooming flowers, these bulbs will put your spirits in a sunshine daydream. Next up are,
It's okay. Just start reading.
all right.
Okay.
Now what you've been waiting for, what to plant during the spring. First up are canna bulbs. Canna bulbs thrive, bulbs, not balls, bulbs. Anyway, they thrive in a moist setting with full sun, but can be grown in a partial shade, says Lynn Reynolds from Wheeler Gardens and Florist. Best of all,
Cannas.
They require very little maintenance once planted. And after they bloom, the flowers are perfect for bouquets. Next up is the elephant ear. Reynolds says, flavoring rich, most soil, elephant ear bulbs can be grown in full sun or filtered sun or shade depending on variety. Although they do not have a bloom, these plants provide great foliage and mix well with vibrant colored flowers. Place the bulbs 5 to 6 inches below ground level and water frequently during dry spells. Not seeing much growth? Don't worry. Elephant ear bulbs grow slowly, says Kathy McFarland with Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. That's what CO dot means, right? Mm-hmm. Next up is caladium. Mm-hmm. All right, caladium. Correct water and nutrients are crucial in the early life of caladium bulbs. Fertilize soil before or after planting to strengthen bulbs for the next season. Keep bulbs moist, but not so wet that they'll rot. That's what Reynolds says. And if you're unsure on the drier side, plant the bulbs 1 inch below the ground and 4 to 6 inches apart for the best results. And now we have a lily. Offered in a wide variety of colors, lilies are perfect for customizing your garden.
Oriental, Asiatic,
or Madonna lilies. They all offer a summer bloom, and Reynolds says their one requirement is well-drained soil. Place the bulbs 6 to 8 inches beneath the surface and watch as their beauty comes to life. To strengthen their droopy stems, McFarland recommends stalking the plants as they grow taller. And finally, what to plant in the summer. First off, a tip for growing sunflowers. Place your sunflower seeds in early June to enjoy a perfect crop of grown at home blooms in late August and early September. August and September are the perfect time to enjoy sunflower blooms, and lucky for us too. Sunflowers can be easily sown right into the ground. Early June is the time to make some room in your garden or outdoor space because nothing says summertime like these happy flowers. Homesteader Amy Taylor says, I love sunflowers because they are just easy to grow, dramatic, and they add so much character to a garden. You can plant your seeds in garden beds or plant them in containers. Taylor says, I always plant more seeds than I actually need. That way, if critters get a few, or if some don't germinate, you still have plenty of blooms. So, if you want to enjoy sunflowers that have fall color in them, try varieties like chocolate, cherry, or red sunflower seeds from Baker Creek, located at 92278 Baker Creek Road in Mansfield. If you're looking for towering sunflowers, the Mongolian giant can grow up to 14 feet tall. Taylor says, I like to plant them in groupings. They will be so dramatic and they will all lean on each other for support as they grow taller. You can also plant them along a wall or fence for built-in support. Just make sure your plant seed somewhere gets plenty of sun because sunflowers need 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day. I mean, that's why they're called sunflowers. Sunflowers are great as cut flowers too. Bringing a hand-picked bouquet from your garden into your home can be quite magical, and since these flowers are super easy to grow, anyone can enjoy growing them. And even if you don't think you don't have a green thumb, leaving some blooms out in your garden will attract wildlife as well. Taylor says, at the end of the season, even when the flowers are dried up, leave them standing tall. You will have beautiful songbirds and finches visiting you every day, enjoying the seeds. This is one of my favorite things about the end of the season. And here are some tips to plan a garden with a
Do you want to read the top?
Yes. To plan a perfect garden with a garden journal, don't let your garden observations become foggy memories of the past. You can create a garden journal to plan and track your garden's progress. Greene County Master Gardener George Diaz says, if you keep a detailed garden journal, you will have a resource to develop and improve your gardening skills year after year. So here's what you can do. You can set up journal sections. Diaz recommends Dietz, George Dietz, not Diaz, sorry. George Dietz recommends creating sections in your garden journal, one for a garden layout, where you sketch or describe your garden layout to keep track of when and where everything is planted. And the next section can also be about, the next section can be about plant profiles. He says if you want to document each type of plant with a full name, variety, planting date, and care instructions from the packets, seasonal tasks and tips can be the next section where you create your own calendar with a task list for weekly, monthly, and seasonal gardening activities for your future use. You can also include key information. Dietz suggests that keeping a track of key information like dates for planting, germination, flowering, problems, and harvest dates. The information makes it easy to generate must-have seed and plant lists for next year. Weather is another thing that Dietz recommends that you keep track of too. He says to record your USDA plant hardiness zone and track local weather conditions, including spring and fall frost dates, rainfall, and temperature changes. Understanding your area's weather patterns can be very helpful while trying to decide whether to cover your tomatoes against a forecast frost. Plan your soil tasks in your journal as well. Dietz also says to keep track of the soil types, soil test dates with results, pH levels, plus any added amendments with dates. And finally, track the progress and make a plan. Recording the progress of your garden can be an exciting and rewarding process. Dietz suggests that taking regular photos to visually document growth, changes, and problems in your garden. He says also to make sure to note details of any diseases, pests, or unusual plant behaviors. At the end of the season, review your notes to identify what worked well and what didn't. You can use your new insights to start planning for the next garden. Dietz also recommends doing this Dietz also recommends doing all of this sooner rather than later while the information is still fresh in your mind. Let's see. If you want to pick up any bulbs, here's a few places where you can pick up plants for the spring. First up is Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, located at 2278 Baker Creek Road in Mansfield. There's Garden Adventures Nursery, located at 1900 West Mount Vernon Street in Nixa. There's Joplin Greenhouse, 2820 East 32nd Street in Joplin. Then there's Schafitzel's Greenhouses, located at 1771 East Atlantic Street in Springfield. Wheeler Gardens in 1925, I almost said 7. Wheeler Gardens located at 1925 South Bedford Avenue, Springfield, and Wickman's Garden Village, located at 1345 South Fort Avenue in Springfield. That's the end of that article.
This article is from the Springfield Business Journal. Ad Smith changes ownership. It starts with a picture of Ken Taylor, who is standing on the right, and founder Angela Smith, who is standing on the left, sharing a drink as she welcomes him into his assumed ownership for Ad Smith Marketing and Advertising. This article is written by Jeff Pickle, digital editor. Ad Smith Marketing and Advertising has changed ownership. Company president Ken Taylor assumed ownership of the company from founder Angela Smith, the firm announced yesterday. Smith said via email that the sale closed November 21st for undisclosed terms. While there has been considerable interest in the company over the past 2 years, my intention was always for Ad Smith to remain in the hands of a trusted internal leader, someone with the marketing expertise, drive, and stamina to guide the agency into the future, while keeping the team intact, Smith said. I've always viewed Ad Smith as a community of talented marketing professionals. External buyers could not guarantee continued employment for all team members, nor could they commit to the full-service marketing support and community engagement that I built over the past 25 years. Ken shares these values, and that alignment was a top priority for me throughout this transition. Taylor was named president in 2018, setting the company up for a succession plan, according to past Springfield Business Journal reporting. He joined the company earlier that year as a senior vice president of marketing strategy after previously working for 16 years at Noble Communications Co. Ad Smith's team, services, and operations are unchanged through the deal, according to a news release. Angela has created a legacy of purpose-driven work and authentic connection, Taylor said in the release. I'm honored to take the baton and continue leading Ad Smith with that same spirit. This isn't about changing what works, it's about building on a rock-solid foundation and preparing for the next 25 years with fresh energy and vision. Smith said she is retiring after selling the company she founded in 2000. She plans to focus her time on nonprofit work. She currently serves on 6 boards, and said she would be available to Taylor for advice as needed. Ad Smith ranked number 2 on SBJ's 2024 list of the area's largest advertising and marketing agencies. Company officials declined to disclose annual revenues. Ready?
Well, actually, I was going to let you read the next one. My voice is still kind of...
Okay. Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. The Blind Community Thrift Store is a spacious 17,000 square foot thrift store located in Springfield, Missouri. It holds the distinction of being the first retail store worldwide to incorporate Navi lens and technology, which significantly enhances accessibility for the blind, visually impaired, and non-English speaking individuals. This innovative system enables customers to navigate and shop with minimal assistance, fostering independence and confidence. The store operates as a nonprofit organization dedicated to generating funds that support the provision of adaptive technology and training for the blind and visually impaired community, often at little to no cost. Visitors can learn more about the
station alert has arrived.
It's okay. Visitors can learn more about the organization and access its services by visiting the store in person at 2713 North Kansas Expressway, Springfield, Missouri, or by exploring the website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The website offers comprehensive information about the store's mission, services, and opportunities for community involvement, as well as details about the free store available to residents in the Springfield area.
I didn't know my phone could talk.
It's okay. Want to read this?
Some sort of weather alert.
It's okay.
All right. Next up is, once again, by 417 Magazine. From filler to favorite, the carnations glow up. It's time to rethink carnations as underrated blooms and to embrace their ruffy petals and array of colors. They are January's flower, after all. And this is by Heather Kohler. This photo is once again courtesy of Shutterstock. Carnations are the overlooked gems of the floral world, appearing as vibrant, affordable, and long-lasting, yet very underrated. Many florists like to mix carnations with more unique flowers to create a luxurious and full arrangement that won't break the bank. However, a vase featuring carnations all in one color can also be incredibly chic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alex McQuarrie, co-owner of Queen City Blooms, gravitates to shorter round vessels with large openings that can make this simple arrangement feel modern and fresh. McQuarrie also says that we like to say there are no bad flowers, just bad combos. It also says unique vintage vases will also help elevate their look. Plus, carnations come in just about every color you can imagine, and some of McQuarrie's favorite shades are a pale peach, a beige. Some of the shades are a pale peach, a beige that feels softly vintage, and a vibrant color.
Orchid color.
Orchid. Those are his favorite shades, peach and beige.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, he goes on to say, these are colors we find ourselves ordering a lot. She says, the orchard color is a pretty pink and purple that makes me smile. Another unquestionably unique shade is one that displays deep purples that almost look black, giving this otherwise sweet bloom a more moody aesthetic. Carnations are also easy to find during winter months in popular colors like white, red, and pink, which you can find at your local grocery store. But more unique colors can be ordered by local floral shops. There are other ways to change up the vibe of these
Versatile
flowers. McQuarrie recommends pinching out the smaller petals around the center when you want to give your carnations a different look. She says doing that will make the carnations look more like
Lysanthius.
Is that another flower? One of McQuarrie's favorite things about carnations is their longevity. She says if you can change out their water, they have a long vase life. You can also trim the bottom of your stems, and that can dramatically increase their vase life too. Whether you're setting your table with carnation centerpieces or simply adding a touch of life to your home, these fluffy, feminine blooms can be styled in countless ways, creating visual interest that feels sweet and traditional, classic and lush, or modern and fresh. That's the end of that article.
All right. From the Springfield Business Journal, Southern Missouri Electric Cooperative names new CEO. This is written by SBJ staff. It starts with a picture of Aaron Wheeler, who is the new top leader at Howell Oregon Electric Cooperative. This photo was provided by Howell Oregon Electric Cooperative. An electric cooperative that provides service to South Central Missouri has named a new leader. Aaron Wheeler was promoted to CEO and General Manager at Howell Oregon Electric Cooperative, effective January 3rd, according to a news release. He succeeds Dan Singletary, who retired January 2nd after a 40-year career with the organization. West Plains-based HOEC provides electricity to roughly 25,000 meters in Douglas, Ozarks, Texas, Shannon, Howell, and Oregon counties. The organization operates 4,932 miles of line. An HOEC employee since 2004, Wheeler has served as assistant manager for the past 5 years. Wheeler becomes the 5th CEO/general manager in the history of HOEC. We've had a strong and stable leadership for the last 86 years, and the board has worked closely with Aaron as assistant manager, said Keith Tharp, HOEC board president, in the release. We know he is the right person for the position as we move forward and continue the growth of the cooperative. We are proud to have him leading the team. Wheeler said in the release that his experience with the utility provider would be instrumental as he takes over its CEO. He pointed to his work developing and establishing the first retirement of patronage capital of HOEC members, referring to margins the cooperative earns after paying operating expenses, which are then allocated back to members based on usage. I want HOEC to be a cooperative that continues to increase member engagement and serve members with reliable electricity and valuable added services, Wheeler said in the release. HOEC's latest operations statement on its website points to 2024 operating income of $50.5 million, with operating expenses at $49.3 million. All right, Madison, ready?
This is by Springfield Daily Citizen, and the article is by Jack McGee. Jordan Valley Community Health Center announces a new name for its logo. And there's a picture of Jordan Valley Health's Tampa Street Clinic in downtown Springfield. And this photo was provided by Jordan Valley Health themselves. Jordan Valley Community Health Center announced a new name and logo on Wednesday, January 7th. So, yesterday. Going forward, the health system will now be known as Jordan Valley Health. The name change was promoted by discussions around how the organizations can improve serving one another and our patients, according to an announcement from the health system. The announcement also reads, during that research process, it became clear that the full organization name did not communicate who we were fully. The name Jordan Valley Health better communicates the breadth of care provided to patients while still staying true to our roots. In addition, the new brand also includes a new logo featuring a baby bear and a mother bear and her cub, and a tagline that reads, "We see you," on the bottom. The announcement states, in part, The former tree logo, originally licensed from Jordan Valley Park, created brand confusion between the health center and the park. But the other visual elements of the brand, including the font, posed potential readability challenges for some. Jordan Valley's, there's a picture of Jordan Valley's Health's new logo, like I said it before, featuring a mother bear and her cub, and it also says, which health system says symbolizes strength, protection, connection, curiosity, and compassion. This photo is once again by provider Jordan Valley Health. The new name and brand mark will be rolled out across the health system in 2026 and going into next year too, which is 27. That's when Jordan Valley will celebrate its 25th anniversary, according to the announcement. Matthew Stinson, CEO, also said in the announcement, Dr. Matthew Stinson, CEO, said in the announcement, "Our new identity honors our past and strengthens our promise to serve. We look forward to seeing the updated look throughout our service area, but most importantly, we look forward to better connecting who we are with the patients we care for." Jordan Valley is a federal qualified health center with 10 locations across southwest Missouri, including 4 in Springfield. That's the end of that one.
All right. From the Springfield Daily Citizen, Cardinals caravan to feature top prospect J.J. Weatherholt. The caravan will make 2 stops January 6th at the Bill Rove Indoor Training Center and the Bass Pro Shops Tournament of Champions. This article is written by Lyndall Scranton. There is a photo of J.J. Weatherholt as he is up to bat, posed in front of the umpire and ready to swing. 3 notable Springfield Cardinal alums, including top prospect J.J. Weatherholt, are set to appear at Hammons Field and the Bass Pro Tournament on Champions on January 16th during the annual St. Louis Cardinals Caravan. Joining Weatherholt, who's expected to contend for a starting infield position with St. Louis during spring training, will be outfielder Victor Scott II and pitcher Kyle Leahy. Both have gone on from their time in Double-A Springfield to key roles with the big lead Cardinals. Infielder Jose Furman will round out the players on the caravan, and former big leaguer Kerry Robinson will also be on hand. Announcers Ricky Horton and Mike Claiborne will serve as MCs for the event, which will have a 12:30 p.m. program at Hammons Field and a 7:15 p.m. appearance at Great Southern Bank Arena during the tournament for elite high school baseball teams. At the Hammons Field event, which will be held in the Bill Rowe Indoor Training Facility, fans 16 and older will receive 2 tickets to a 2026 Cardinals game, and kids 15 and younger can collect 1 autograph from each player. The Bass Pro Tournament of Champions appearance will be autographs only for youngsters and require a ticket to the basketball tournament. Meet the players. There is a photo of Victor Scott II up to bat. He is ready to swing. This photo is from 2023 and provided by PJ Maggi from the Springfield Carnivals. Weatherholt, the Texas League Player of the Year, despite playing only the first half of the season in Springfield before promotion to Triple-A Memphis, began his first full season in professional baseball with the Double-A Cardinals. He played in 62 games and hit .300 with 7 home runs, 34 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. Scott hit .323 with 7 home runs and 44 stolen bases in 66 Double-A games in 2023 with Springfield. He hit .216 with St. Louis in 2025 and has 39 stolen bases in 44 attempts in 191 Major League games the last 2 seasons. He was also a Gold Glove finalist among center fielders last season. Leahy spent portions of 3 seasons with Springfield before making his debut in St. Louis in 2023. He was one of the Cardinals' top pitchers in 2025, with a 4-2 record and a 3.07 earned run average in 62 appearances. Furman has appeared in 96 games at multiple infield positions with St. Louis over the last 3 seasons as he split time between the big leagues and Triple-A Memphis. Ready?
Oh, I didn't do this one yet. Once again, this is by 417 magazine. Missouri State researchers map the remnants of an unknown Amazon culture. And it says using LiDAR.
LiDAR.
Using LiDAR technology to see through dense jungle, 2 Missouri State researchers are mapping a new discovery. And there's a picture of Dr. Daniel Pierce and Christopher Bodline next to each other by a chalkboard. Apparently they found evidence of an unknown civilization using LiDAR. And this photo is by Brandon Alms. Archaeologists around the world dream of making the kind of discovery that Missouri State University Dr. Daniel Pierce and Christopher Bodline made last year. Deep in the Amazon, the pair uncovered evidence of an unknown civilization using LiDAR technology. Bodline says, what we found are geoglyphs. Geoglyphs. They're big shapes, circles, squares, 400 feet or so across. Roads or paths radiate from these shapes in different directions. For Dr. Pierce, the journey began with curiosity. Years ago, while studying in Guatemala, he became fascinated by how thick jungles are and how easily built entire buildings can be lost in the green. While there, he picked up the nonfiction book titled The Lost City of Z by David Gran. It's a story about an explorer named Percy Fawcett, who explored the Amazon and went missing in 1925, never to be found again, and something clicked. Dr. Pierce says, I was just reading about this guy getting lost exploring the Amazon, while I find myself actually in a jungle at the time exploring off trail. This will be it, a dream come true. When he returned to the United States, he spent time cold calling people who did any kind of work in the Amazon. After a few years, he landed at Missouri State University and started working with Bodline. The idea of exploring the Amazon still lingered in his mind and didn't take much convincing to get Bodline on board. There's a photo again taken by Brandon Alms, and there are pictures of geoglyphs like geoglyphs like strange vase markings, footprints, symbols. While reviewing open source satellite data,
Either one.
Bodline spotted something that didn't belong, and that was massive geometric patterns etched into the forest floor, with some stretching hundreds of feet across. These clearly weren't natural formations because they were too precise. The team began using LiDAR data, which is laser-based mapping that can see through trees, and a clear picture comes into view. There were rows connecting the shapes, traces of what could be communal spaces or ceremonial centers. These features are nearly 1,000 miles north of where known sites exist, suggesting this culture was far more widespread than previous researchers ever realized. Dr. Pierce and Bodline are hoping their discoveries can help educate the public. Dr. Pierce even goes on to say, even though we're not the first people to ever find geoglyphs in the Amazon, we're some of the first people to find them, and this is maybe the first time a lot of people have actually heard of them. Being back in Missouri makes the discovery especially meaningful for Bodline. He grew up in the Ozarks, and he earned his undergraduate degree from the University of Missouri, studied in Europe for graduate school, and is now pursuing his PhD at the University of Arkansas. Bodline says, it would be nice to be able to build something here in the area where someone doesn't have to do that if they don't want to. They can do international high-impact research here. Dr. Pierce, originally from St. Louis, attended the University of Missouri St. Louis for undergrad. He received both his master's and PhD from the University of Missouri-Columbia. Then he worked in France for 2.5 years and then went to University of Central Florida for a couple years before finding his place at Missouri State University. In December, Dr. Pierce and Bodline began their in-person journey through the Amazon to see their discoveries for themselves. The data they collected isn't perfect. There are resolution issues, and while it's easy to make assumptions about what they've found through data, it's impossible to say for certain without seeing it themselves. Dr. Pierce says they have the data and plan in place, and it's now a matter of time of what's truly out there. When they get back to publish their findings, plan to publish their findings and raise funds for a broader project to map larger areas of the jungle that have never been mapped. That's what they plan to do. They also have several other projects that they're working on simultaneously, including ones in Mongolia, Kenya, Greece, Mexico, Yellowstone National Park, and Cahokia. Funding can be a challenge, but through Missouri State and their nonprofit, Terra Incognita Research Institute, they are able to keep going. Dr. Pierce then says, we're big stuff people. We are coming from other universities that do big stuff so that we're used to. So that's what we're used to. And then ends off by saying, we'll find our own way.
From the Springfield Daily Citizen, poking around. I've got a question of my own. Why are so many people interested in Ozark Burger King? Ozark city official says, I can only speculate that it's a combination of things. The community misses the restaurant, the site is highly visible on a busy road, and has been in demolition or construction state since the 2023 fire, and the community is anxious to see progress made and the site cleaned up. This is written by Steve Pokin. It starts with a photo of the half-demolished, half-rebuilt Burger King in Ozark. I never knew so many readers were interested in the Burger King in Ozark that still hasn't been rebuilt. Then again, I'm often stunned by which stories readers flock to and which ones they basically ignore. The Answer Men column on the Ozark Burger King ran December 29th. It was our second most popular story of the month. In short, there was a Burger King at 1699 West Jackson Street in Ozark for many years. It was heavily damaged by fire December 5th, 2022, and eventually razed. This was followed by partial construction of a new Burger King. But the phoenix didn't rise from the ashes. The construction suddenly stopped, and some say the site has become an eyesore. The people of Ozark certainly noticed the work when work stopped. Why, they ask. Now I'm the one with the question. Why do so many people care about this? There is another photo of a different angle of the partially deconstructed and partially constructed Burger King. All concerned want to see site cleaned up. For my first column, I wasn't able to reach Randall Whitman, Ozark Community Development Director, but he eventually got back to me. As far as the interest in this project, yes, we're aware of this topic. This is the topic in Ozark social media on a regular basis, Whitman tells me. Why'd you ask? I can only speculate that it's a combination of things. The community misses the restaurant, the site is highly visible on the busy road, and it has been in demolition or construction state since the 2023 fire, and the community is anxious to see progress made and the site cleaned up. The city is also anxious to have the construction finished and open for business for all the same reasons. There is a photo of Randall Whitman, the Ozark Community Development Director, right next to this paragraph. City isn't preventing work from being done. Whitman tells me that there is a city-issued building permit on file. It's valid until February 8th. The permit could be renewed at that time, so it's not as if the city has halted work. In my story, I mentioned that on September 3rd, Mechanics Lien had been filed against the property on behalf of Meeks, which sells lumber and building materials. Mechanics Lien is a tool used to secure payment for an unpaid debt. It attaches to the property's title. The lien was satisfied and removed December 10th, according to court records, but it might explain the delay. The Meeks store at 735 North Massey Boulevard in Nixa has alleged that it sold $33,605 in building materials for the project and was not paid. It sued Checkmark Construction, LLC, in Blue Springs, Burger King, and the Missouri company that it listed as the owner of the property in public records, 1699 West Jackson Street, LLC. Owner of land is a New Jersey family trust. My December 29th story pointed out that the owner of the property is not the owner of the Burger King. The family trust that owns the land is based in New Jersey. There is another photo of the partial construction of the Burger King through a chain link fence that has signs that say danger, construction area, keep out, and posted no trespassing, keep out. This photo was provided by Steve Pokin. David Zatachuni of New Jersey told me his family owns the land, but not whatever building is on the land. His family bought the land about 15 years ago. A Burger King was on the property at the time of the purchase. The Burger King franchise operator pays Zatachini rent. Zatachini was aware of the 2022 fire, but was under the false impressions the rebuilding of a new Burger King was going well. I sent him the photos that I took that are in the column. He told me the current franchise owner of the Burger King is the Tasty Restaurant Group with headquarters in Dallas. It operates and manages hundreds of quick service restaurants for major brands like Burger King, Pizza Hut, Dunkin', Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Taco Bell. The name Rosa Banks with the Tasty Restaurant Group appears on one of the building permit applications filed with the city. I called her and sent her an email wanting to know the reason for the delay and the mechanics lien, and still have not heard back. What? Still working from home because of COVID pandemic? On December 31st, Whitman provided me with a contact name on a different building permit on file with the city. It's Technical Group Incorporated, based in Farmington Hills, Michigan. He gave me the phone number that's on the permit. I called it Friday, January 2nd, 2026. I was greeted with the following recorded message. Due to the ongoing pandemic, our team members will be working remotely until further notice. This confuses me. Has the company forgotten to change its phone message for 3 years? Or does it consider the current resurgence of COVID part of the ongoing pandemic? Regardless, the recorded message includes the first names and phone numbers for 3 employees. I called all 3 and left messages. No one replied. Hopefully they're not sick. I sent the company an email too. No one replied. I then heard from Buddy Huggins, a YouTuber. Out of the blue, I heard via LinkedIn from a guy named Joe Tagliente, who owns several Burger Kings in New England. I went through several similar experiences as Zatugini's, he wrote. One of our Burger Kings was closed for weeks due to a flood, and they never notified us. We discovered it by accident while touring our portfolio. It took them close to a year to reopen, and they were dragging their feet, he wrote. They didn't get moving until we threatened to terminate the lease. Back to local sources, I do know of a local person who is all over the Burger King situation in Ozark. It's Ozark resident and YouTuber Buddy Huggins. Huggins read my December 29th story and called me. He wanted to convey information I didn't have in my column. I make YouTube videos. I'm very controversial online. I asked him to first tell me a little bit about himself. He speaks at many public meetings in Ozark. I live in Ozark, Missouri, he says. Been here 12 years. I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos. I'm very controversial online. His voice reflects his origins. Mississippi. He's 64. I checked newspaper archives, and Huggins is mentioned in July 2018 story in the Springfield News-Leader. He's described as a prolific local YouTuber. He posted a video of the inside of Pensmore Mansion. I watched the video, and the voice of the camera operator inside Pensmore is not Huggins' voice. Never fear, Buddy Huggins is on it. On November 6, Huggins posted a YouTube video of the former Burger King in Ozark. In the video, Huggins said the foundation and slab were not poured up to standards because of cold weather and a female voice. Huggins often uses AI-generated voice in his videos, then says, Buddy Huggins is on it, exposing the half-baked hustle. Stay tuned, folks. This rebuild has got more twists than a flame-broiled patty. The problem with the slab is why there's a delay, Huggins tells me. Yet, I should point out, the city makes no mention of such problems. Huggins often reports on what he considers improper construction in the city. His August 24th YouTube post has the headline, Ozarks Post Office Brick Blunder Exposed. He alleges the bricks don't match in color. Seeking higher levels of vibration. Huggins tells me he knows the construction trade because he worked in construction years ago in Mississippi. On his blog, Huggins described himself as the Mississippi Buddha, and he has this to say, I'm a retired construction worker looking to see the world and experience higher levels of vibration. In order to continue my journey of self-awareness, I seek spiritually minded people and couples that either work in the area of spirituality or those who are in tune with their spiritual being. This is Poking Around column number 330. And that is the end of this article.
We almost done?
The time.
Yeah. Next article is by Springfield Daily Citizen again. Scholarships awarded to students planning to work as rural teachers. There's 4 people in a forest. There's Michaela Carr, Rosa Hester, Colby Gahn, Ghan, Gahn, and Jeremy Graham. Never mind, they're not students. I meant to say they're members of the CFO's Ozarks Teacher Corps, and they're participating in a place-based education exercise along the trail at Valley Watermill Park. And this photo was taken by CFO. The picture, like I said, I meant to say there's 4 teacher corps, not students, in a jungle, or not jungle, a forest, like a forest trail, the ones that you would go on hikes. They're holding clipboards and probably observing the place. 9 more college students in November joined a group focused on sending teachers to rural school districts. The Community Foundation of the Ozarks announced 9 scholarship
Recipients.
Who are completing degrees tied to the education industry. So they're college students. So which one is it? Are they college students or teachers?
It's okay. Just keep reading, please.
Those students who are currently pursuing teaching degrees at Missouri State University and Drury University are expected to start their careers at smaller schools across the state. Teacher recruitment has long been a challenge for many schools across the country, including large districts such as Springfield Public Schools. Beth Hirsch, a director of scholarships for CFO, said that the smaller school districts have continually struggled to recruit teachers and felt that pain more than their
Metropolitan
counterparts. Hirsch says there is still a problem with staffing rural schools where they can become a teacher but also have to pay a lot of different roles in the community. There were a lot of different hats. Rural teachers are dedicated to their schools, but their jobs are demanding. CFO's Ozarks Teacher Corps is a program that has offered scholarships of $40,000, renewable over 2 years, to students who agreed to teach for at least 3 years at a rural school district in the region. And there's another picture. From left to right are are 2 people, Brooke Crum.
4 people.
4 people, Brooke Crum and Jordan Sigmund from left to right. Continuing, Emily Whittaker and Natalie Wilkes. All members of the CFO's Ozarks Teacher Corps participate in a place-based education exercise for a viewing blind at Valley Watermill Park. This photo was provided once again by CFO, and the latest recipients are Missouri State students, Mackenzie Furr, Jeremy Graham, Rosa Hester, Kenna
Humble.
Lillian Johnson, Michaela Carr, and Hannah Phillips. So they are students. Okay. And students like Emily Whittaker and Natalie Wilkes.
Drury students.
Drury students. That's what I said. Drury. Students who attend Missouri Southern State University in Joplin or Southwest Missouri State University in Cape Girardeau are also eligible. Those
Recipients
recently joined a second-year members for a workshop about place-based education, which is a philosophy of teaching that connects classroom subjects and
curriculum
with their communities. And it was led by Teton Science Schools, which is a Wyoming institution that specializes in the practice. Hirsch said many recipients go back right to their hometowns after graduation to fulfill their teaching obligations. That's important because suburban and metropolitan schools, they can offer higher salaries for basically the same work. Hirsch says these jobs don't pay as well. Teachers move around because they would like more money. The program, which is part of the Foundation's Rural Schools Partnership, started in 2010. And the article then goes on to say school scholarships application opened January 1st. The Ozarks Teacher Corps scholarships are more than $1.7 million in the scholarships available from the foundation, and this application period for those scholarships opened on January 1st and
eligibility
will close on March 16th. The scholarships come from about 450
endowments
held by the foundation and its affiliates. Many of the scholarships are limited to areas of study or location based on the limitations of the
endowment.
Yeah, the endowment. That's the end of that article. Minor note, to mitigate those requirements for applicants, the foundation offers a universal application that helps students determine their eligibility. And now it's the end of that article.
The story this is going to be from 417, and it's the story behind Asa Al Furut Coffee and Bakery. From Iraq to Springfield, Missouri, Imatan Alid shares sweet treats that bring the perfect combination of little joys and big comforts. This article is written by Tessa Cooper. There is a photo of Imatan Alid standing in front of her bakery, the Asa Al Furut Coffee and Bakery, that she opened with her mother, Manal al-Sakar, in the fall of 2025. When Imatan Alid was 11, she and her family fled from their home in the Iraqi city of Mosul to Turkey to seek refuge from the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS. During such an uncertain time in her life, sipping tea was a daily ritual that always brought her comfort. Every morning before school, her mom would make her a cup of tea with milk and she'd savor it. Alad is now 21, and today you can find her serving cups of tea with milk as well as other delicious drinks and baked goods along with her mother, Manal Al-Sakar, at their very own bakery, Asa Al-Furet Coffee and Bakery, 207 Park Central East, Springfield. Both of us love to bake, and we like to spend time with each other a lot, she says. Alad has dreamed of opening a bakery and coffee shop for her entire life. So when she got laid off from her job in January 2025, she saw it as an opportunity to make it a reality. First, she began offering traditional Iraqi desserts at the C Street City Market. She received an overwhelmingly positive response and realized that there was a market for these global flavors in the Ozarks. She opened Asa Afaret Coffee and Bakery this past fall and is introducing the community to flavors they may not have ever had the chance to experience otherwise. My goal is to share my culture, and I want people to know Iraq in a good way, she says. When they try the desserts, I hope they will realize it's a beautiful country with a beautiful culture. It's not just about war.
My hands are killing me.
Okay.
I'm good. It's just a figure of speech.
It's okay. There is a photo of an overhead view of several of these desserts, 2 bowls of mixed nuts, and 2 teas.
I thought
This
that was
is-
chocolate.
This photo is provided by Katie St. Clair. Must-try dishes from Asa Al-Faret Coffee and Bakery. Zonad El Sit. There is some overlap when it comes to favorite desserts in many Middle Eastern countries. But to Alad's knowledge, no other country serves a dessert quite like the traditional Iraqi favorite. Zonad El Sit is a cream-filled pastry that features a crispy phyllo dough. One serving comes with a set of 3, each drenched in a sweet rosewater syrup. Orange cake. Alad developed this recipe herself. A blend of spices and a dash of rosewater ground the bright citrus flavor in this dense cake. Iraqi black tea. Everyone is always drinking tea somewhere in Iraq. Alad said, so if I were to suggest something to drink and feel the culture, it's going to be the tea. Sipping this hot, unsweetened tea is an olfactory experience as well, thanks to the addition of cardamom. And that is the end of this article. Madison, would you like to read the next article?
Uh-huh. Next article is by Springfield Daily Citizen. Sunshine Street Bridge expected to be opened by end of this week. Located Scenic Avenue to close by January 20th. This photo is by Ali Freistack. And there's a picture of the Sunshine Street Bridge over MNA Railroad in West Springfield, which has been closed for more than 5 months to facilitate its replacement and is expected to reopen to traffic by the end of this week. After months of construction, the Sunshine Street Bridge over MNA Railroad just east of Scenic Avenue is expected to reopen by the end of this week, while the city of Springfield prepares to close the nearby bridge for carrying Scenic over Wilson's Creek on January 20th for its replacement. Regan Mitchell Regan Mitchell, communicates specialist for the Missouri Department of Transportation, which is overseeing the replacement of the Sunshine Street Bridge, and they say that they anticipate the bridge will open to traffic this week if everything goes according to plan. In order to facilitate construction, a small stretch of Sunshine has been closed for more than 5 months. This project has been delayed on multiple occasions due to a combination of factors, including geological issues. Initially expected to begin in early July of 2025, MO postponed the start date to early August, anticipating construction to last 4 months. And the closure was later extended into January. Upon the bridge reopening, Mitchell said drivers can expect to see some work off the roadway, but nothing major. While lane closures are possible, there are no current plans to do so. With an estimated cost of $5,888. Wow. The project involves the replacement of the bridge and the construction of new sidewalks on both ways, on new sidewalks on both sides of Sunshine between Scenic and Marion Avenue, just west of Kansas Expressway. Scenic Avenue bridge replacement expected to take about 4 months. And there's a picture of the Scenic Avenue Bridge over Wilson's Creek. It will close to traffic on January 20th for its replacement, and this photo was provided by the city of Springfield. The article goes on to say, meanwhile, the city is preparing to replace a nearby bridge just as the Sunshine Bridge is set to reopen. The Scenic Avenue Bridge between Sunshine and Bennett Street will close beginning Tuesday, January 20th. In addition to the replacement of the bridge, the project includes the addition of a 10-foot multi-use path on the west side of the bridge and a 5-foot sidewalk on the east side, creating a new connection for the Wilson's Creek Greenway. The project is intended to improve safety and stormwater management, according to a news release. Like the Sunshine Street Bridge project, construction on the Scenic Avenue Bridge is expected to take about 4 months. Vehicles will be directed to use Sunshine, Bennett, and Kansas Expressway to navigate around the construction. The current Scenic Bridge is nearing the end of its life. With the new design, we're not only ensuring a safer, longer-lasting structure, but we're also creating better connections for people walking and biking in our city. That's what Lee Reese, Public Works Project Manager, said in the release. Also went on to say, we appreciate everyone's patience as we work to replace it and keep our roadways safe. The $3.1 million project is funded through the city's one-fourth cent capital improvement sales tax and 1/8 cents transportation sales tax. While MoDOT anticipates the Sunshine Bridge to reopen before the city closes to the Scenic Bridge, Mitchell said the department is in communication with the city to ensure the two projects don't interfere, not noting that they weren't too connected about an overlap. They weren't too concerned about an overlap. More information on the Sunshine Street Bridge project can be found
at a link on the website.
Same thing with information on the Scenic Avenue Bridge replacement can also be found on the website. And next article.
This is from the Springfield Daily Citizen. What Casey Woods predicted for Missouri State football's future at his introductory press conference. New MSU head coach looks to build on the momentum from the Beard and Petrino eras. This article is written by Ryan Collingwood. There is a photo of the new Missouri State Bears head football coach, Casey Woods, as he gives his opening remarks during his introductory period conference on January 5th, 2026 in Missouri and Springfield. 17 days before he was formally introduced as Missouri State's new head football coach at a celebratory Great Southern Bank Arena on Monday, Casey Woods stood before a young maroon-clad audience. Hours after the then MSU offensive coordinator agreed to a 5-year contract with MSU at his Dallas area home, he made the short drive to Frisco, where his future team was loading back to Springfield following his December 18th Xbox Bowl appearance at the Ford Center. This was both an introduction and an opportunity to present his vision in an effort to retain players from the looming transfer portal cycle. Many have since opted to return, placing their faith in a first-year head coach whose sterling resume as coordinator, recruiter, and position coach included stops in the ACC and SEC, most recently a 4-year run at SMU that included a 38-16 record and an appearance in the 2024 college football playoff. There's another photo of the new coach, Casey Woods, posing with the athletic director, Patrick Ransdell, after the introductory press conference. They are both holding up a Woods 26 jersey in the Bears colors, burgundy and white. Others will be playing elsewhere, including several who announced their plans to follow recently departed head coach Ryan Beard, who helped change the complexion of MSU's football program before accepting the same position at bowl regular Coastal Carolina. But on Monday, 3 days after helping SMU down number 17 Arizona 24-19 in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego to conclude a successful tenure, every MSU fan booster, alumnus, and staffer in attendance appeared sold on second-year MSU athletic director Patrick Ransdell's first major hire. Missouri State punter and former multi-sport Logan Rogersville star Stuart McDonald was among them. Woods is a guy from the South, and one of those men that I aspire to become, aside from football, said McDonald, one of the several Southwest Missouri products who have opted to stay at MSU following the coaching change. He's just a great person, and I've only ever heard great things from friends and people at SMU. I've been impressed with what he's doing with the culture. I've been encouraged by some of the other local guys who are taking the change and staying. It's not easy taking a chance at this point, but I heard him talking and seeing where the program is going to be the next few years. I'm excited. McDonald's positive sentiments about Woods fall in line with those from the 42-year-old's longtime friend and former colleagues, Rhett Lashley, SMU head coach, and Eli Drinkwitz, Mizzou head coach, who worked together as far back as 2010 on Glee Chizicki's national championship Auburn team. There is another photo of Casey Woods as he is doing his introductory press conference. It is a close-up of him as he speaks. Following a whirlwind 2.5 weeks bouncing from Texas, Missouri, and California, the charismatic Woods spoke at the lectern with a Southern accent and a palpable belief that Missouri State could continue to ascend in Conference USA following its successful 2025 debut in the Football Bowl subdivision. We're going to push this thing higher and higher and higher, said Woods, whose contract includes a 2026 salary of $700,000, the highest in the football program's history. Here's where the son of former South Carolina head coach Sparky Woods, husband and father of 5, said on Monday, while noting salvation, loyalty, toughness, hard work, and impact as his 5 core values. We're going to win Conference USA. Savannah Woods, daughter of Casey Woods, is pictured pointing at the Jumbotron that has a projection of her dad's face. She is sat on her mother's lap with 4 of her siblings sitting next to her. When sharing his mission on Monday, Woods wanted the audience to know he aimed for quick and continued success. We're going to bring back a championship back to Springfield at this level, he said. In Woods' 8 career stops that spanned 5 different FBS conferences, he coached in 9 conference championship games, winning 6. I know what winning looks like and what championships look like, he said. We're going to recruit this school better than it's ever been recruited before. There is another photo of him shaking hands with, of Coach Casey Woods shaking hands with Athletic Director Patrick Ransdell, just behind the podium. Woods lauded the recruiting of MSU's previous regime, which signed a talented group of freshmen during the December signing period, many of whom he expects to still come to MSU despite the coaching change. We're willing to honor anything that's done there. They've all been communicated to.
Sorry, this flu shot is just kicking me.
It's okay. You gotta be quiet, though. We have some mid-year enrollees that are headed down here, he said. We're excited about them. We're excited about those guys. I think the previous staff did a nice job recruiting. Woods, a recruiting coordinator at Mizzou for 2 seasons, believes the level of recruiting can be elevated even higher, and having ample connections in the talent-rich Dallas market helps. Getting the best available talent in Missouri will be a priority. We're going to enter all 419 high schools that play football in the state of Missouri in the next calendar year, he said. With the transfer portal currently open, Woods said there may be an emphasis at quarterback. Missouri State's 2 primary quarterbacks have either graduated or transferred, and defensive line, which were also hit hard by the portal and graduation. He mentioned 25 roster slots that he aims to be filled. If you want to throw for a bunch of yards and score a bunch of points, come to Missouri State, said Woods, who recently coached dynamic dual threat All-ACC quarterback Kevin Jennings. One of the toughest environments in Conference USA. SMU trailed much of its first half in September before downing the Bears 28-10 at Player Stadium in Springfield, which had lively and sizable crowd for the rare occasion of hosting a Power 4 program. Woods said it was among the reasons he applied for the Open MSU, and he was impressed by its game day spunk. He wants to continue to build on the environment to make it harder for future opponents. I want to make Placer Stadium one of the toughest environments in Conference USA, he said, encouraging students and fan participation in facility improvements, a pursuit that has raised millions over the past several months. I feel like we hired the best defensive staff in the Conference USA. Woods said that all but 2 assistant coach positions have officially been hired, and that the school will announce those hires as early as Tuesday. I feel like we hired the best defensive staff in Conference USA, Woods said. I'm super excited about what those guys are. I know what I'm bringing in offensively. I have great young coaches to help support me and what we've done from an offensive standpoint. On 3 Sports reported SMU assistant offensive line coach Hassam Ori and SMU assistant quarterbacks coach Sam Hollander have joined Woods at SMU. Bring on Mizzou? Perhaps the Bears can set up a rare future football date with Mizzou, factoring in the relationship between Woods and Drinkwitz. You can draw drink, we can meet wherever you want to, Woods said with a smile. Wherever you want to play, man, I'll be ready. Woods will face his former team, SMU, in Dallas in September on the back end of a home-and-home series. The Bears also opens the season in Texas at Texan A&M. Woods speaks with reporters after press conference. Woods touched on a variety of topics with reporters following the press conference. There is a video that is available on the website to watch. And that is the end of this article. Here, Madison. Here. This one is a short one. How about you read it? You need me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. 417. The rising star of Springfield's Guinevere Goodwin. Springfield singer-songwriter Guinevere Goodwin is carving out her place in the Ozark music scene. There is a photo of 27-year-old Guinevere Goodwin sitting on a stool and holding a guitar. Late in 2024, I saw Guinevere Goodwin perform at Ozarks Jubilee Tribute Concert and had one overarching thought. This girl is a natural. This was a big turning point for me, Goodwin said for the performance nearly a year later. Since that event, her mission has been to make herself known as a local artist, performing gigs and making solid community connections. I love it here, and I want to help enrich my community, and that means I have to be a part of it, right? Goodwin says. When she was 15, Goodwin locked herself in her bedroom with her mom's guitar and decided she was going to learn to play. She just watched a local musician perform Beatles songs at the Gilroy's Imagine concert. And something clicked. After that, the rest is history, Goodwin said. I was like, where can I play? I need to be playing everywhere all the time. Some of the Goodwin's first gigs were at Ebbets Field in Springfield and local yoga studio. Now 27 years old, she takes inspiration from Patsy Cline and Amelia Harris in 70s country. But ironically, she hated country music at first. She realized it was the kind of music her audience loved most. So she leaned in and eventually found beauty in the genre storytelling and soul. More than that, country music helped her reconnect with her roots. I felt like my relationship with my grandfather became closer, Goodwin said. Some of my core memories are him driving me around in his Ford truck playing Patsy Cline. It's really just special. I was able to connect with my family and after embracing that on my own. Her husband, a fellow musician who toured with Rocky Erickson and the 13th Floor Elevators and played with local band Kudzu, has been a steady collaborator and sounding board. It's amazing to be married to someone who understands what I do, she says. Godwin hopes to record her first full album this year. I have all the songs written, she said. I have an album concept. It's just a matter of finding the people that I want to work with. She also hopes to start building a regional presence with shows in cities like Kansas City, Tulsa, and St. Louis. Her long-term dreams are big but grounded, playing the Newsport Folk Festival and even
12 p.m.
the Grand Ole Opry someday. The most important thing to me is that I continue to center my creativity, she says. I hope that in 5 years, I have a support system around me, like a manager, a creative team, where I can really soften into my expression and create music that really does reflect what I'm trying to express. Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.readerku.edu. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kHz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.